Elite Dangerous and the system colonization update has given rise to commanders trolleying around in large ships. Ships that can move volume, ships that can haul cargo from one point to another with at least 700 tons in their cargo hold. Now, if you trick up certain ships, you can get even more, knocking on the door of 800. That'll have a compromise in how far you can jump, however. Two ships become immediately to mind in Elite Dangerous, those being the Lakon Type-9 Heavy and also the Imperial Cutter. Now, there are upsides and downsides to these two ships, these two behemoth cargo hauling ships, and we're going to dive in and see what they are today, and hopefully come up with a solution on which is the best ship for you to aid in your system colonization efforts. Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Well, the Trailblazer update's been with us for a little bit of time now, and with that came system colonization, and not only the Mandalay to buy for in-game credits. Anyway, enough about that. System colonization in Elite Dangerous is quite complex, but what it comes down to is hauling an awful lot of material from A to B. And for this, a few ships come to mind. In this video, we're going to deal with the Imperial Cutter, which, as you'll know, is locked behind a rank wall. A little bit of a grind there to get there, but once you've got Imperial rank, you can then get hold of a cutter. Or the Lakon Type-9, the quintessential heavy hauler. Now, recently, there have been some additional haul craft that have been brought into the game, like the Lakon Type-8, which is a medium type hauler, and that might be perfectly fine for some commanders. But if you've got a ship, an awful lot of material from A to B, then you're going to need something with a little bit of cargo capacity. First up, we're going to talk about the Gutamaya Imperial Cutter. Now, this is a costly ship, coming in around 203 million credits. Well, knocking on the door of 204 million credits, really, if we're going to split hairs. You do need the Imperial rank of Duke or higher in which to access this ship, and which, from that, you have to gain your trust with the Imperial factions. It's got a huge maximum cargo capacity of 792 tons, and is no real slouch, with a standard speed of 200 meters per second, boosting to 323. Now, you get some engineering on that, you're going to go a little bit quicker as well. As for maneuverability, however, it's not the most maneuverable of cats, shall we say. All big ships have quite a low maneuverability. However, where it does shine is that if you are hauling an awful lot of cargo, the hardpoint configuration on this ship will enable you to fend off some attackers. However, the more hardpoints you populate, the lower your jump range is going to be. So whether you run lean or run heavy, depending on what you're hauling, that's down to you. The advantages of the Gutamaya Imperial Cutter are certainly the superior cargo capacity, where the cutter offers one of the highest cargo capacities in the game, making it ideal for what we're talking about with system colonization, which is moving large quantities of material from A to B, and other missions as well, whether it be a community goal or whatnot. It has that enhanced defensive and offensive capabilities, with robust shielding, a diverse array of hardpoints. The cutter can withhold and therefore dish out quite a bit of damage during your transportation missions. And also, out of all of the ships, it's got the most impressive speed in-game so far. Despite its size, the cutter speed does allow for swift travel between stations and the ability to evade potential threats. You stick an SCO drive on that as well and trick it up from Felicity Farseer, boost your thrusters as well, and then you're going to have a ship that's going to move an awful lot of product very quickly. But it's not all sunshine and clear thrusters. There are some drawbacks to the Gutamaya Imperial Cutter, and that primarily is going to be its high cost. And then also, right up next to it is the rank requirement. The cutter's hefty price tag of nearly 204 million makes it kind of an achievement to get hold of, not to mention achieving the rank of Duke within the Imperial Navy. making it less accessible to players who want to get in straight away and not have that much of a rank grind. Also, you gotta say, it's limited maneuverability. I mean, it is better than most, don't get me wrong, but the sheer size of these big ships do result in them being sluggish, making docking and navigating type spaces challenging. So perhaps that docking computer would be wise to have in one of those slots, else you may plant it into the surface of a planet and lose all those tasty cargo. Moving on now to the Type-9 Heavy, the Lakon Type-9 Heavy, manufactured by Lakon Spaceways, known for some of their exploration craft and also the hauling. You've got the Type 8 that came out recently, you've got the Type 9, you've got the Type 7, you've got the Type 6, you got the Keelback, oh good grief, and not only the Asp Explorer and the DBX as well. Either way, they're primarily known as haulers. Now, coming in considerably cheaper than its competitor at 76,500,000 credits, it has a cargo capacity of 790 tons. It's a sluggish ship though, however, with a standard speed of 132 meters per second and engineered, and then with a bit of boost applied to it, 202. It's got very low maneuverability. Some have found it akin to flying a brick, or dragging a dead Labrador around a garden, that sort of thing. Very low maneuverability. Hard points as well are on the low side. You may give some pirates a bloody nose, but you're not going to go winning any wars. You may be able to fend them off while you make that hyperspace jump, but like I say, the maneuverability being so low and the hard points being on the weak side, you're not going to win any battles, really. Internal compartments are satisfactory as well, and its advantages are obviously its affordability and accessibility that put it above the Imperial Cutter straight away. The Type 9's lower cost and lack of rank requirements make it an attractive option for those commanders who need to haul some product from A to B with capacity, without significant financial or time investments. It's not a bad jumper, to be perfectly honest. With an FSD, with a new SCO drive, you can wind this up to around about 40 light years, making sure you tune some of your internal components as well, just to give you enough power for what you need. I'm talking about the power cells, the power generator. If you can make that just enough for the power that you're using, you're going to see that 40 light year jump range. So you can haul substantial cargo with it. Not as much as the Cutter, but you are going to come close. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, right, poor defensive capabilities are the drawbacks, and also severe maneuverability issues. It is so sluggish, and its low speed can make those evasive maneuvers virtually impossible. Docking, also, you got to have your wits about you, especially on a high G world. Now, poor defensive and offensive capabilities have got to be spoken about in length here. Limited hard points, weaker shielding make it vulnerable to pirate attack. If you want to maximise your jump range with this ship, I would stick with the light armour that comes with the ship, and then go and unlock an engineer that can then bolster that armour with some deep plating and any other experimental effect that you want on it. That's basically for free and it won't affect your mass. So, if I was going to compare the Imperial Cutter and the Lakon Type-9 Heavy, the Cutter does emerge as the superior vessel for commanders who want to make their mark in system colonization, move product from A to B. However, you know, you've got to be able to meet the cost, 204 million, give or take, and also the Imperial rank prerequisite. Its combination of that vast cargo capacity, its formidable defences, and impressive speed provides a balance, a secure trading experience. However, not everyone has been through that Imperial grind to get to Duke, and therefore the Type 9 is a good second option. It can move a lot of product from A to B, providing you've got a little bit of time and patience, and can master the tricky manoeuvrability limitations on it. But there you go. If you can do it, go for the Cutter. Unlock that Imperial rank, get those credits, and credits are plentiful these days. If not, I'd look at the Type 9. And if you like smaller ships, I'd even look at the Type 8 as well, which is more than suitable. You just need a little bit more time. More options. I've been Ricardo. Hope you've enjoyed this comparison between the Imperial Cutter and the Lakon Type-9. What's your favourite of the two? Or are you using something completely different? For example, are you using an Anaconda? Ooh, contentious issue. I feel another video coming on. Let me know in the comments. I'll see you soon.